And certainly invite everyone to participate in this discussion, because the one thing I see when I do short sales is that every time I do a transaction, I learn something new. There are no uniform standards from one lender to the next. There's no bright line test. What one lender might require could be completely different from another lender. Some move fast, some move slow, some make sense, a lot of them don't. They don't think logically, and these are, labor-intensive transactions. But in the reality of what we're facing in the market right now, with so many of our clients headed towards foreclosure or being unable to make their mortgage payments, they're all calling us and saying, what are my options? What can I do? What are my alternatives? And so I think we've all kind of had to adjust our focus a little bit. Having said that, as a little bit of a backdrop, how many people by way of hands are actually engaged in a short sale transaction right now? That's a lot. And how many of you have encountered some level of frustration in those transactions? Just about everybody. Can someone tell me what it means to engage in a short sale, or what a short payoff is? Does anybody know a definition?
It's just basically when the selling proceeds will not pay off all the liens that are involved in the property.
That's correct. The proceeds of the sale are not enough to cover the liens on the property. And I'll just add one little thing to that, which is, and the homeowner cannot make up the difference. And that's important, and we'll talk about that a little bit, because financial ability to pay is really the key factor that the lender's looking at. They're going to scrutinize the homeowner's finances to determine whether or not a short sale is appropriate in this situation. But that is, you're right on. And it's not just what you think of traditionally, like a mortgage, a first or a second. It can also, you're looking at tax liens, you're looking at homeowners association liens, other judgments that might be out there. So you have to look at everything that has a lien on that property in determining whether or not this short sale is going to get approved. Banks. Why would a bank entertain a short sale? Why does it make sense from a bank's perspective? Does anyone have an idea?
It's maybe the lesser of two evils. Instead of, taking it completely on the chin, they take a short.
Yeah, pretty much. And foreclosures are expensive. Foreclosures can cost banks $50,000, $60,000 to get from beginning to end. I mean, you have, property maintenance fees, you have taxes, you have attorney's fees, you have sheriff's fees, you have all these fees, and banks aren't in the business of stockpiling real estate. They don't want these properties on their balance sheet. So you're hoping that they're thinking logically, and you are providing a viable alternative to get that asset off their balance sheet, or get that liability off their balance sheet. Question?
Yeah, let's say, for example, a homeowner owes $80,000 on a piece of property that's only worth $70,000. This is in Florida. And but he has $100,000 in a savings account. In other words, that person probably would not be able to do a short sale.
Absolutely. There's a good chance they will not be able to do that short sale.
Because of his
financial ability. Sure. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But moving on to why these transactions come about. Typically you see a short sale because something unexpected has happened to that homeowner. Something that they didn't foresee. It could be, an unforeseen change in life circumstance, a death of a spouse, a divorce, a loss of employment, a protracted illness that kept them out of work, or, as probably a lot of your clients, for many people out there, unrealistic expectations. When they got that arm 5 years ago, they thought, this is great, I got this low interest rate, and 5 years from now I'm going to have that promotion and everything's going to be great. And as we know, it didn't work out that way for a lot of people, the whole subprime market. So a lot of people had unrealistic economic expectations of their future, and now they're in this situation where these mortgage payments are no longer affordable. So those are the type of situations that we're seeing that are bringing about people calling us. Me in particular, calling my office saying, what are my alternatives? And the crazy thing about it is, and I don't know about some of you, but I'm getting calls from